Here is my number one lesson for all my clients this year. Hey guys, Coach Dan here. I am a exercise and sports science degree holder. I am a trainer in the gym for over 20 years. I've been training for over 20 years, and I've been coaching and personal training for 10 plus years. And I have an expression or a motto that I'm preaching to all my clients this year, which is it's all about progress over perfection. So what I'm saying when I am saying progress over perfection is essentially, instead of starting the year off like we do every year with this mentality as I'm going to be perfect, I'm going to eat perfect, I'm going to exercise 4 or 5 days per week. Instead, what we can do is take what we were doing last year on average and just progress it by 10 or 20% at a time. So once we progress that 10 or 20%, we essentially build that new habit. Once we've got that locked in, then we can add the 10 or 20% again. So it's not shooting for a home run every time. It's not shooting for, ladder level number 20. It's starting at number 1 and then getting that little bit better, going up 10 or 20%, then going to number 2 and so on and so forth. So it's all about that little bit of progress over trying to be perfect immediately out of the gate. There is an issue with all this perfection mentality, which is if we can't be perfect, we don't do anything at all. So we think, I can't get all my sessions in this week, so I won't go in at all. And there is an issue with that, is like 3 sessions is quite good. If you're aiming for 4, but you get 3, that's good. But because your mentality is such that you need to be perfect, you end up not going at all. So instead, we just think about progress. What was I doing last year? Let me get that little bit better. Once I've gotten that little bit better and I'm doing that consistently, let me get that little bit better again, and so on and so forth. Now, what will eventually happen in this regard is that you'll end up where you want to be, potentially perfect or your best version of what perfection is, but you'll be doing it regularly and as a part of your lifestyle versus trying to force yourself to do it for the first couple of weeks of the year and then stopping after a couple of weeks, which is what we find a lot of people do, especially New Year's, new weeks, new whatevers. They are bolstered with a certain high level of motivation, but when that motivation fades and life starts to get in the way, things start to slip, and usually exercise, healthy eating, all these things are the things that slip first. So instead, go back. What was I doing last year? Let me shoot for a little bit better than that. Once I can nail that, let me shoot for a little bit better than that again, and you'll be surprised how far you get. Now, the thing about things is nobody's perfect. But again, you don't have to be perfect to get really high level results. If you can be good over a long period of time, you'll get some amazing results. This obsession with perfection, optimal, all this kind of things is absolutely unnecessary. If we can just be good and times that by time, you'll eventually reach really high level results and achieve anything you want. So it's about being good on average versus being perfect rarely. So look to those areas of your life that you potentially have shot for perfection before. Still set the goal pretty high, but find those steps in between, that little progression, that 10 or 20%. Each little step is going to lead to that optimal outcome for you. And eventually, once you are there, you haven't made this massive leap, you haven't had to work really hard for it, and you'll be there comfortably and sustainably over the long term. And that's what it's about. Because again, if you're only doing things rarely or unsustainably, or you do it for a week or 2 weeks and then stop, you'll often get nowhere at all. So it's about being good consistently over being perfect rarely. That's my message this year to all my clients. With my experience as a trainer and coach, we're all about finding those little progressions that will accumulate over the long term. So I've been signing all my videos off like this. I think this is the best lesson for me and clients and everyone to live by, which is always to go for progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.